everyone. My name is Chloe, and today I'm here to do my May in and out. So if you have not seen one of these videos, this is a video in which I tell you everything that I'm hauling for the month and everything that I'm unhauling. So I'm really working on taking down these physical TBR shelves. And you guys, I am trying to make progress. And this month I have more to haul than unhaul, but I also read off my shelves. So the whole change is 5 books off. So I'm hauling 7, unhauling 2, but I read an additional like 10 off my shelf. So I'm down 5 books. So that is good. My goal at the beginning of the year was to be 100 less than on December 31st than I was on January 1st. And as of now, I'm like 12 over. So you guys, maybe the second half will be better. But let's just get into the haul and unhaul. So the first two are the ones that I'm unhauling. So the first one is A False Sense of Wellbeing by Jean Brazelton. And this one I read this month, and I just didn't like it. This is one of the lowest rated on my bookshelf. And so I read it, and it was interesting, I guess. This is about a woman who has all these like fantasies of her husband dying in like freakish ways, and she's like, what is going on? So she decides to take a trip back to her family home, and she's got a best friend that is cheating on her husband, a sister who has a really weird relationship with her husband. Her mom is interesting. She's got a whole bunch going on, basically, is my point. And every marriage in this book is not positive. But really, this book just got so like kooky, but not in really a fun way. It got like really just too much, and it was slow. It's very much just kind of a character study, and I wanted to know like about these fantasies and stuff. Like that just was the very beginning and then the very end, and like it reveals a truth to her about herself, but there's just not much to this book. So I'm gonna let this go and see if maybe somebody else enjoys it more than I did. And then the last one that I'm unhauling, there's only 2, is We're the Lucky Ones by Georgia Hunter. And you guys, I am in such the minority on this, and I think it's a great book for what it is. So Georgia Hunter, this is a fictional account of her family's real history. So there's 5 adult children and parents, and they all survived World War II. They were the lucky ones, and despite being Jews in Poland. And this book is all of their different stories. They're all in very different circumstances, and so they're not all in Poland, but the whole family had to do horrific things, and they were in horrific situations, and yet they were the lucky ones. My problem with this book is not the plot, because the plot is amazing. I think she was handed a really fantastic family story. The execution of this, however, was not for me. So this one, it gets very, very, very like descriptive to the point that I'm like, I don't care, and like I'm zoning out now. And I kind of had a hard time at first getting all the siblings and all the storylines, because it's a lot straight. But then as the book goes on, you definitely get that. But I just felt like almost emotionally distanced because the descriptive writing style, and this just wasn't for me. So I know a ton of other people love this, so somebody will be excited to get this one. Then let's get into the hauls. So I only bought 1 book this month. I feel really, really grateful because this month was my birthday month, and my family shockingly didn't really get me books, and I think it's because we're about to be moving, and they also are overwhelmed and don't know what I have and don't have, or what I've read and haven't read. But my mom got me one, and it is Midwifes by Chris Bohalian, maybe. This one, you guys, sounds so interesting. So this is about a midwife who goes to deliver this baby, and the mother appears to have died from a stroke. And so she does an emergency C-section to get this baby out. And then there's all sorts of accusations that the mom was not actually dead. So she does this emergency C-section on this woman she believes is dead, died from a stroke. I imagine she didn't take a whole lot of care with the mother's body because she assumed it was already dead. And so what happens next? I don't know, but I cannot wait. I've never heard of this book, and it says 20th anniversary edition, and I got on Goodreads and saw a bunch of people have read it. And so really, really, really excited to read this one. The next 3 are from wonderful subscribers and friends that I have here on Booktube. So thank you guys. If you are one of the ones who sent me a book, thank you. two of you have hooked me up with some more Ruta Sepetys. So I have Fountains of Silence by Ruta Sepetys. This one is Madrid, 1957. That's all I want to know. I love her writing style and I love the short chapters. And this is like really wide margins and big, like almost double space type. And so it makes me feel super productive. So I'm really excited to have this one. And then the other one is Salt to the Sea. This one's winter 1954, and it's about people on deck of the Wilhelm Gustave. And I don't know anything about that, and I really just want to dive into this and learn and probably get on Google a whole bunch because that's what Ruta Sepetys does. So thank you guys for these. And then Morgan from Nothing Better Than a Book sent me Ever After Always by Chloe Leese. And I read the first one, and I can't remember what the family's name is, but this is a series of a bunch of brothers. Bergman brothers. But this is a Bergman sister novel. So it's her story, and I believe this is a marriage in trouble. And I read the first one and liked it, didn't love it. I have not read the second, and I think I'm just going to skip ahead to this one because I love stories of marriage in trouble, and I don't feel like I have enough of those on my shelves. So I'm really, really excited to read this. I may or may not read the second first. Let me know if I need to. Because I'm okay with like getting glimpses of the other couples, but just let me know if I need to read the second one first. Then, you guys, I won a Goodreads giveaway, which I have not had in years. And the one I won, like I enter probably daily. I enter a ton of Goodreads giveaways and I never win. But the one that I won, I was shocked. It is Love for Beginners by Jill Shalvis. This is number 6, I think, in her Wildstone series. And I have read, maybe it's 7. I can't remember. And I have read all of them up to this point. I really like this series. This one is about a woman who wakes up from a coma and finds out that her boyfriend and her best friend are now together. And she just is like, okay, I need to start over. And I love like women starting over stories. I'm a sucker for them. And so she starts like a doggy daycare. I think she starts to have a crush on her physical therapist, but her physical therapist is evil because he's putting her through all these things that she doesn't want to do. And I know there's some drama at the doggy daycare and a frenemy involved. As with all of these, there's really like a deep dive into this character, I am guessing. So I'm excited to read this. This cover just like screams summer. Cannot wait. Then the next one is one that I was sent from Forever Publishing, so thank you to them. This is The Summer Cottage by Annie Raines, and I have already read this one, and it was cute. It was probably like a 3.5 star for me. This is about a woman who, her husband is in jail, so she takes her and her son, moves to a different town, and she becomes like the property manager for these summer cottages. She's helping out this older lady who runs it, and then the older lady's grandson comes in because the family wants to make some changes with the cottage. So it's her romance with the grandson, and it's really sweet, really fun. She is a single mom and has like a 5-year-old kid, and I liked seeing that. I would say this kid is definitely written older than a 5-year-old is, but I like single mom, single parent stories, and I just thought this was really sweet and charming. So this one I have already read. Thank goodness it does not count against me. So then the final one is the one I bought. It is my book of the month pick, and it is The Thing He Never Told, or The Last Thing He Told Me by Laura Dave. And this is a thriller about a woman who her husband goes missing and says, protect her. And she's like, what? And she thinks he is talking about his daughter. And his daughter wants nothing to do with her new stepmom. And so that relationship, I imagine, has some complications going on. But as they try to figure out what is going on, because the cops are coming to her house, his boss is getting arrested, like things are going on. Her and the daughter are trying to figure out what's going on, and I imagine they figure out a way to have a relationship. I don't really know. This says it's really twisty and turny. It sounds like a good mix of like women's fiction and thriller. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm excited to read it. So that is everything that I hauled and unhauled for June or for May. Luckily, it's a little smaller than some of the others, so I feel really good about it. I'm down 5 books. That's progress. So that is it. If you have read any of these ones that I'm hauling, let me know your thoughts.